Hello, just a quick disclaimer before we get started. The timestamp to my mod loader will be in the description box down below. This video was recorded at a time that the 121 patch has just recently come out, and because of all the issues that came along with it, I wanted to go into as much detail as possible as to exactly what my setup was before the 120 patch and during it to explain how I am able to still use the mods that I have. If you are somebody that is in the future, then hopefully these issues have been resolved, and if you don't wish to see that, you can use a timestamp. However, for everybody that is watching right now, I highly suggest watching the video all the way through so that you can know what my setup was and how I am still using mods that might be not working properly for you. Thank you. Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom video bulletin. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. I thought I would share with you today my personal load order that I use on the PlayStation 4, as I've received several questions now about exactly what I'm using that I'm still able to mod with the latest patches of the Todageddon outbreak, or well, I guess you could call them patches 120 and 121. Whatever you want to call them, I personally call them a pain in the ass. The game is still playable for me, although of course not without issues that I will get into here in a little bit. Now, before getting into this video though, I do want to state I have shown this load order before, but I figured it'd be easier to just go ahead and direct you to a video showing it and going into a lot more detail about what I'm using and how I use it. But I do want to state that my load order is not, and I repeat, is not in the correct order that is suggested by mod authors as to how you should have it placed. So just because it works for me does not mean it will work for you that way. I simply put the mods where I want, and I do group them together in a way, but it works for me. So this is the way that I have mine set up. However, you should do what is best for your load order, and if you are somebody that is newer to modding and you want to know the proper load order that you should have mods placed, I will have a link in the video's description box to another video that I made that was a collaboration with Omegafraz Gaming, who is a mod beta tester, and he provided the information as to the proper load order that you want to have these placed for the least amount of issues. Now, before we get into the actual loader, I guess I should probably go ahead and give you some background as to what I had and my circumstances before we got the 120 patch, as it could be relevant information as to why I wasn't as affected as some of you. I will say that, just like you, I am definitely having issues since patch 120 and more issues now with patch 121. Trying to get the footage for the load order today, I've crashed 7 times just trying to go into the mod loader, and that usually does not happen. That didn't even happen with 120. But to let you know, when I originally was playing Skyrim before the 120 patch, I did not have any CC content purchased at all. I did not have any CC content, with the exception of 2 free CC content armors that I'm going to be showing right now. And these were the only CC content items I had before patch 120. It's the Alternative Armors Dwarven Mail and Alternative Armors Ebony Plate. The 2 horse armors that you see there were not in it before patch 120, and those, by the way, are bugged. Don't use those. In any case, that is all that I had, and I do believe that is a big part of what saved me during the 120 patch, to where I did not get the 0KB issue right away, as a lot of you did. Now, I am on the PlayStation 4 Slim, and I only have one character. That is the only character I've ever had, Aragon. He is the one that I created, and I've never changed him. With that, save file wise, I have the original prisoner save that he was created off of. I have a manual save that I update occasionally because I test mods fairly regularly to see what they do, and because they can cause unforeseen issues, I will occasionally update when I know it is safe to do so, a manual save that I can revert back to in an emergency. And I have 3 autosaves that constantly overwrite each other as I go in and out of like areas, doors, things of this nature. That is the only saves I have on my system for Skyrim. For those unaware, the PlayStation 4 0KB glitch is caused because of the allotted space that is saved for mods, CC content, and save files that is combined is only 1 gigabyte, and after the 120 patch there's only about 17 megabytes worth of space left in there. Now I do not know if that is because also of the CC content installed, as I actually do have more than what is recommended of the 14 to 15 megabytes worth of mods installed, but again that is because I have no CC content, with the exception of now the free content that was given to us by patch 120. And of that, when I got the survival mode, it popped up on my screen when I was in Bree's house after loading the game from the 120 patch, and I automatically shut that off. I have not used it, so in case that is important information. I have ran Saints and Seducers. I've played it all the way through and had no issues with it. I haven't done anything to do with Rare Curios, and I have not tried the fishing game. So that is the CC content after patch 120 that I have used. I do believe it is for these reasons that after patch 120, and even with 96 mods active in my loader, I never hit the 0KB bug, and that is simply because I did not have an overabundance of save files and CC content taking up space on my system. It's a common misconception that the 0KB bug on PlayStation 4 is caused by mods alone, and they're not. Mods can definitely be a part of it, yes, and there are certain mods like Craft Everything that can cause it on their own, as well as mods that add too many items to the forge. However, the real culprit is that allotted space that was left over for mods, CC content, and save files, the allotted 1 gigabyte, that causes the issue. That's how an anniversary user, for example, who has all of the CC content installed and say perhaps too many save files, can hit the bug even if they've never had any mods installed since getting that version of the game. You definitely do not want to have all of the CC content installed. You want to pick and choose. Now if they ever increase the data cap, then you could perhaps install it, but as of right now it's just too much for the system. And yes, I am aware that now because of patch 121, the anniversary users have to install all of the CC content or they cannot play. However, there is a workaround to that a lot of people, some have stated doesn't work, but a lot of people have tried and does, and even a mod author, Be Very of A, stopped by and confirmed that it is a working method. I will be leaving it in the description box down below for you if you need it, if you're an anniversary user. And also, I do want to say I'm most likely going to put a timestamp in here for the future for people that just want to see the load order. The reason I am going through all of this detail, and it's now 7 minutes in, is because with the game and the state it's in, I figured it was best to try to let you know as much as I could exactly what my setup was like before and during the 120 patch as to why I'm able to use all these mods, because I do have some mods installed that are working fine for me, but that others have reported cause them issues, like Immersive Citizens, for example. So I figured it was best to try to give you as much information as possible as to how I'm able to use these mods. And also, one final thing that I do want to state before getting into the load order, something I have stated many times and I will state many more because I am always honest with the users and viewers of this channel, and that is simply that I am not a professional, that there is information that has been given to me by people that know a lot more about Skyrim than I do, like Omegafraz Gaming. However, the information that I state in this video is my understanding of the way that it works. But my own personal theories of why something is happening is never going to be 100% accurate as what could be the cause. It is the way that I understand it in my game to be happening, but the information that you get in these videos on this channel will never be 100% accurate, but they are to the best of my ability. I know for the last 2 weeks I've been working my ass off trying to do everything I can to help the Skyrim community, and I occasionally get the occasional troll that thinks they know more than everybody else, including the mod authors and mod beta testers, I might add, that then come in and criticize me or other users for trying to provide fixes, and to them I simply have one thing to say. Okay, friends, let's get into my mod load order, and please remember that it is not in the order that the mod authors suggest. For a video on the proper way to have a mod load order set, please see the link in the description box down below. So I currently have 93 mods in my loader. Most of them are active, starting with the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch, followed by the Skyrim at 60 FPS. Now, a lot of people have stated that this stopped working after the 120 patch. However, it has been working fine for me in my loader. The next one is Extra Sound Settings Beast Edition, which allows me to have additional options in the sound settings menu to tweak them as I see fit. Then the Infinite Cheat Chest, which adds these to the outside of the different player homes like Breeze Home, followed by the Bottomless Urn, which gives me a personal storage that I can carry with me wherever I want to go in case I become over encumbered or to store important things. Followed by Faster Leveling, something that I've had for a while, but I do not actually know if it works very well. He does not level very fast, but I do keep it. The next one then is Unlimited Sprinting, which does just as it suggests and is really good so that I don't have to worry about running out of stamina. Followed then by Big Jump times 2. This is just to help give him a little bit to be able to jump over stuff he should be able to, but still look natural for a human being to be able to do. It's better than the vanilla jumping in my experience. Then Enhanced Magic, which is my first attempt at trying to make the magic that he has stronger, as when I first started out, his magic was fairly weak even when it was fully powered. I have a couple of mods that do that. Wear Multiple Rings is, as it suggests, wear multiple rings. This doesn't always work, however, with some rings, and it will still cause me to remove ones like my Triforce ring. The player carry weight increases the weight. My Triforce ring does the same, that I can carry, but in case I am without it, I keep this around just to be safe. And as I keep mentioning that particular ring, here it is, the Triforce ring. This is a God mode ring, but it is a lot more than that. It lets me be able to have infinite magic, shout, stamina, infinite carry weight, all kinds of stuff. This is a very, very good cheat ring, and I absolutely love it. The next mod is Rich Merchants of Skyrim, which gives the merchants a lot more gold for when you are selling to them so that they don't run out so quickly. They still will run out, but not as quick. The Khajiit Caravan Kittens. This is a really cute mod that adds some kittens to the Khajiit caravans that patrol Skyrim. They do suffer from the Greyface bug, but it's not too noticeable on them, and for that reason I keep it around. The next one you've seen in my mods quite often is Summon Rideable Horse Pack. This is the divine horse I always use, followed by Well-Tamed Horses, which has actually just been recently updated by Cyan49 and is functioning a little better with Lydia, but not a lot. But it's an amazing mod for the followers to be able to have a horse, as well as it gives additional options to your own horse. Get No More Dead Followers, unfortunately, is being overwritten, I think, by several of my lower mods. Keep it around in case I ever have to shut multiple follower system off, which is one of the ones that overrides it, so that the followers stay essential. But if I need to, I will probably have to lower that in my order to get it working. Big Ultimate Kills gives me a lot more of the kill cam moves, decapitations, things like that. It's really great for combat, makes it a lot more exciting. Along with this, increased blood amount, which does, as the mod suggests, increases the blood amount. Both of those together work very well. The Body Replacer replaces the underwear on the male and female characters with colored versions, several different colored versions, as does this here with the recolored fur and Forsworn armor. I keep that around mainly to have some sexy armors for the female characters in game. Then we also have, speaking of that, the color-added Nocturnal Robe, which gives you access to those robes that you normally would not in vanilla have, as well as gives some colored versions like a red. Lydia's new clothes is what you always see Lydia wearing in my videos. It is that Forsworn armor, but it is enchanted with a lot more for her, gives her a lot more protection and stuff, and she looks amazing in it. IA92's Custom Texture Valkyrie is an armor set that I have currently stored in one of my player homes, and it looks absolutely amazing. Next up is Tailor's Measure, which allows me to change the NPC clothing to anything I want, or in the very odd chance a mod does something unexpected, give their clothing back to them. It also allows me to look into their inventory and see everything that they have. I have that followed up with 18 Dilabil Sanctum. This is a adult mod that is 18 and up, and it affects the female characters in game, and we'll just leave it at that. After that, we have the Wedding Ring Tweak mod, which keeps your spouse from accidentally selling or losing their wedding ring. Aragon and Lydia are married, and I don't want them losing those rings as they are one of a kind. After that is Race Menu Anytime, which allows me to gain access to the race menu without having to start a new game. In it, you are able to, of course, change your race, your sex, anything that you could do at the beginning of the game when creating a character. Which, in help of creating a character, we also have 3 custom races, but I keep it around mainly for the armor sets that came with those races. Using custom races can break some of the quests, so just keep that in mind. Continuing in the theme of the character creation, the character editor all-in-one allows additional creation options for characters as different colored hairs, horns, things of that nature. Mage Light and Candlelight adds the duration that these spells last for up to 10 minutes, or it is supposed to. It's kind of questionable if it does. Illuminating Spells is an amazing mod that makes the fire on your hands illuminate the area around you as it really would. However, it doesn't seem to work in dungeons all the time, but it does work outside. Resurrection is a spell that will resurrect dead NPCs, but you have to be careful not to use it on decapitated corpses. I also think it has some adverse effects, but I am not certain. I keep it in case I need it in an emergency. After that, then we have Blink, which is one of my absolute favorite mods, period, and you see me use all the time. This is perfect for a mage. It allows me to teleport anywhere that I want. I use it in battle. I use it to explore areas. It's absolutely amazing and one of my absolute favorite mods, period. I highly suggest that for a mage build. Easy weather change makes it to where you can easily change the weather. You can have all kinds of different effects, all kinds of different weathers at the drop of a hat. Summon Fenrir the Firewolf is the firewolf you often see in my videos. He's not very strong, but he is immortal, and he's a really amazing summon, so I keep that around for that. After Fenrir, if I'm saying that right, and I'm probably not, we then have sorted items by category. This makes some of the items, but not that, added by Saints and Seducers, sorted in for the menus to try to group them together, like quests and what have you. Also, this here, Rename Spells, does the same thing. This is for the vanilla spells. It doesn't work on modded, but it sets spell in front of each one of their names to try to group them together a little bit better. And the same goes for this, Rename Shouts. Again, though, those do not work on the Saints and Seducers. Give gold to anyone allows me to give a gift of charity to anybody in the game. You can do that to get good favor in the place, but I often use it to help the beggars and those that are poor. After Give Gold, then we have World Map, Vibrant Map. This tries to clear away some of the annoying cloud coverage that's in the map. There are some that supposedly remove it completely, however, they have never worked in my loader. This is a really good mod called Good Compass that extends the range that the compass picks up areas that have not been discovered. It doesn't show it on the map, but when you are walking around, you will see it from further away on your compass, and you can go in that area to discover it. I highly recommend that for those who like to explore. Spawn NPC Anywhere allows you to spawn several NPCs in the game. However, I use it because it also has an erase NPC ring, which I keep locked away in my urn, that if I need it in an emergency to get rid of a body that won't go away. Tracking and Summoning is a very recent spell, but a very good one. It allows me to put a tracking spell on anybody, and I can also summon them. This is something I'm going to use on Verona in the future because that quest is broke. QA Cheat Smoke Room is not active right now, but I have used it with the 121 patch, and it works perfectly fine. It allows me to get into all of the vanilla assets, the different items that were in the game in the QA Smoke Room. Perks Beyond Reasonable is my second attempt at getting his magic to work a lot better, which it does. I think it's working in conjunction with the other one. You do need to be careful of perk mods, though. They can cause issues. Even Better Quest Objectives is supposed to make it a little bit more clear of where to go in the descriptions in your journal. It's questionable if it does. It does on some, not on others, but it is semi-useful. This is the newest mod I had downloaded called In-Game Guide for Creation Club Content, which I showed in a video, and it lets you know how to start the Creation Club content because it no longer starts at the beginning of the game after Helgen. Free Player Home Hearthfire build gives you free building materials to be able to create the Hearthfire homes without having to go all around and looking and buying those. Dragonblood Castle is my absolute favorite player home mod. Before then, all the mods that I saw to do with player homes were just carbon copies. This was the first time that I saw a mod really put the effort in, and it is one of my absolute favorites, followed by this one, the Clan of Hidden Valley, which is another absolutely amazing player space. You can really tell a lot of care and effort went into it, and I highly appreciate that. Both amazing. Lady Embra's Circus of Mirth adds a circus to the Solitude area near the market. It's a really nice little player area. The Valorant of Mara Prairie, I know I'm not saying that correctly, adds a small little cozy player home outside of Solitude. I usually don't keep ones that are this small, but it's a really nice built place. My only complaint about it though is it's way too dark inside. Summer Pearl Cove, I have showcased in a mod before, is a very beautiful mod with a lot of really pretty lighting. It's a small player world space. And Somerset Isles F-Rail is one that I have made a video for, but I have not uploaded yet. It's part of the Somerset series, and it is very beautiful. Dreamweaver Ports of Call is an absolutely amazing mod, and this ship will always have a permanent spot in my load order. She should be near the very top of the loader, but I have her here. She is the one that our friend Omegafraz Gaming, who you all know from the channel that's been a big help, worked on as a mod beta tester. Relocate NPC lets you put the NPCs into modded player homes. Right now it's currently only in use though for my rabbit Julia, who you will see a little later on. JK's Whiterun changes the interior of Whiterun. It's a mod that I've showcased before and gives it a little bit of a new look. It's pretty nice. Fortified Run does the same for the exterior of it and looks absolutely amazing. It's a lot more built up and protected like it ought to be, and the dangers that the vanilla has, like the edge over in the one spot the kids can't fall from. Riverwood Flowering is actually a mod that is in the work in progress section, and I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it yet, but it does add a lot of really pretty flowers and stuff to Riverwood. I haven't decided if I'm keeping it yet. Magical College of Winterhold changes the college to try to give it more a magical look than the vanilla version of it. Some changes in it I like, and some that changes in it I do not. Julia's Old Town Riften is an absolutely amazing mod by my favorite mod author, Julia, and it completely changes the outside and the interior of Riften. Looks absolutely amazing. However, you do need to let the cells reset for 10 days before going there, otherwise there is issues. The Ragged Flagon Secret Entrance is an absolutely amazing mod because I hate going through the rat ray if I need to get down there. This mod lets me get right into it. So that's the exact reason why I keep it there if I have to go down there for any reason. The Great Cities by Soldier of War changes a lot of the cities like Dawnstar, Dragonbridge, and Winterhold. Some for the better, some for the worst. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this yet. The Great City of Solitude does the same for the port around Solitude and really builds it up. It looks so empty without it. The big problem that I have with this mod, however, is that it occupies the same space that the Dreamweaver does and covers a lot of the Dreamweaver at Solitude Port, making parts of the ship inaccessible. And for that reason, I have not decided if I am going to keep it. After the Great City of Solitude, we then have Recover Cities, an absolutely amazing mod that after the Civil War, when certain cities like Whiterun are destroyed, you can use this to rebuild them back up to the way they looked before the Civil War so that they do not remain destroyed in your playthrough. I highly suggest this mod. It's amazing. IA92's enhanced console graphics is, as it suggests, enhanced console graphics, and I have it placed here. If I place it lower in my load order, it overwrites the lighting and stuff that I have, and it just puts way too much in, really noticeable at sunset. However, set at this particular location, my other lighting mods still work over it, but it gives in more, I would say, clarity and definition. Also makes the interiors look absolutely amazing coupled with another mod I have further down, really noticeable in Breezehome. Lampposts of Skyrim does as it suggests. It adds lampposts along the roads. It's really nice. It lights it up during the night, as well as lanterns in small towns, which adds them into towns. There is a mod that combines these two, but these are two that I've had the longest in my load order, so I keep them both for sentimental reasons. Map Project Hippie adds a bunch of trees all around the surrounding areas of Skyrim and is quite beautiful. My only complaint with it, however, is that they very noticeably pop into existence as you are traveling around, especially noticeable in the fields. Forest of Skyrim adds a lot of forested area around Helgen Exit Keep all the way down to Riverwood, most noticeably for me near the bridge that exits Riverwood, where it's a real night and day difference with this mod on or off. Skyrim is windy makes the trees and the grass animate a lot faster to try to match the sounds of the wind that you hear in game. For me, it's most noticeable with the trees. Dense grass is a mod that makes it a lot more lush all around Skyrim. However, some people say this has an impact on their performance, but it's never had one in my game. Rain and snow effects makes the characters show rain and snow effects on their body when they are in those regions, something that they were not capable of doing in vanilla. Even if you're in first person, you will notice it on your hands and arms. Water and terrain enhancement is an absolutely beautiful and essential mod for good-looking water in Skyrim on PlayStation 4. It makes the areas that need correction in their flow have it, and also reduces fake sparkle. Obsidian Weathers is a fantastic weather mod I've had for a long time. It gives really beautiful night skies, as well as gives a lot of variety to different areas that didn't have too much variety in their weather before. I highly recommend this mod. The next mod coming up is my absolute favorite mod, right along with the Mage Blink I showed before, and that is Surreal Lighting, an absolutely beautiful mod that I am so happy I downloaded. It really makes my game look so gorgeous. I just cannot praise this mod enough. Some people don't like the amount of color that it adds, but I think it gives just the right amount. Along with it, another one that was added more recently is Improved Shadows and Barometric Lighting. It works really well with it and gives a lot of good sun rays around like the trees and things of that nature. Makes shadows look a lot better. Enhanced Interior Graphics works very well with the enhanced console graphics I showed earlier to make the interiors look very nice. I really notice it in Breezehome, where the fire will light up the inside naturally, and it just looks absolutely amazing. It's not too light, not too dark. They work very well together, placed in the order that I have them. Mall's Combined Bridge mod gives a lot of mods in one: Bridges of Skyrim, Convenient Bridges, and Fallen Trees to save on loader space. It's something I've downloaded more recently and is pretty good. Point the Way corrects the signs in game from the vanilla version to where they actually point where they're supposed to, and also adds signage for the areas that didn't have them before. Julia's Dirt Replacer is an absolutely amazing mod. Now, this one is version 5. She has an updated version, though I must say, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of it, as I think it covers the road too much, but I really like the way version 5 looks. So if you like the way it looks in my game, make certain to get version 5. It is working fine with my special edition of Skyrim when I've tested it. I also tested her Anniversary Edition, and that worked well. This time, Wintertime Cold Winter is a mod that has not been tested with the 120 or 120 update. Neither has this one, TSL Fogrim, a weather overhaul. These are for a future project that I am planning, but they have not been tested with these updates. After that, the next mod that I have is Guard Dialogue Overhaul. This is supposed to make the guards show you a lot more respect as you become more famous as the Dragonborn. It does and doesn't work. I noticed it used to, but it seems like they're starting to smart off to me again in game, but I do keep it on just in case. Immersive Citizens AI Overhaul. This mod has been causing issues for a lot of people since the 120 and 121 updates. It's working perfectly fine in my game, however, this may be one that you want to watch out for. It makes the citizens react a lot more with a lot more AI and act more like people would, fleeing from danger instead of just standing there like idiots. Realistic Conversations is added in with that to try to make them talk a little bit more naturally to each other and not have as long pauses. I do not know if this one is affected with the updates. Faithful Rabbit Companion. This adds a rabbit follower named Juliet I spoke of earlier. She currently lives in Dragonblood Castle. She's completely useless in combat, but I love rabbits and she's sweet. Multiple follower system is a mod that has crashed me numerous times in the past, most notably during the Winterhold story quest line, so much so that I had to delete it. I have since added it back and put it much lower in my load order and changed some of the ways that it worked, and it seems to be working better. It did, however, remove the essential status that one of my earlier mods had given my followers, so because of that I had to add the essential followers patch to it, which must be placed underneath it to give them their essential status back. However, I keep that earlier mod in case I ever have to disable these again during any storylines that it might crash me. After the essential followers patch, I have enhanced NPC perks. The sole reason that I have this is to keep Lydia from setting off traps in the dungeons when we are going around, as I do not set them off. There is other things that it changes, but it must be placed after MFS to function correctly. Dialogue bug fixes attempts to fix the dialogue errors in the game from vanilla. For example, since Aragon and Lydia are married, she should not be calling him Thane. This fixes that. I wish we could get the relationship dialogue overhaul that the Xbox and PC users enjoy. However, because Sony does not allow external assets, we cannot. The final mod in my load order is this one, Skyrim Detail Update. I honestly don't know how much this actually is affecting the game as to the way it looks. I do see some sharpness, but it is supposed to have 50 tweaks, including draw distance, grass, and so on, as you can see here on the screen. And that is the end of the load order that I have. One thing for you newer modders that maybe just got Skyrim, when you disable and delete a mod out of your load order, it doesn't always remove it. Go to the My Library section and check from time to time. I've found plenty of times that a mod that I have deleted and looks like it's gone in the load order is still here showing it's downloaded, and it is taking up space. If you have enough of those, it could push you past the data cap, so check it from time to time, and if you find one you've deleted is still in My Library, then delete it from here as well. That is actually what I am doing right now, checking to make certain, and they are all safe. And that, friends, is the mods and load order that I am currently using on patch 121. And again, please remember that that is in by no means the way that mod authors suggest that you should place them. That is where I choose to place them, and they work perfectly fine for me in my game. You should do what you feel is best for your load order, whatever that is. And if you want the proper way that a load order should be placed according to mod authors, again, I will have that video linked in the description box down below. As I know Omegafraz Gaming will probably tell me that is the way that I should have my mods placed, but friend, they do work perfectly fine for me. I do hope that this video's information will be helpful in helping to understand why a particular mod that is causing a lot of issues for the community at large right now, like say Immersive Citizens, is working perfectly fine for me. That is why I made this, because I have made videos in the past showing my load order maybe twice, but I did not go into really much detail, so I tried to be as detailed as I could as to what my setup and everything was before and during these recent patches. That way hopefully you can understand why I'm still able to mod like I do. I don't ever know exactly how helpful the information in these videos is going to be. What one person doesn't find helpful at all, another may find extremely, and that is the reason why all of the various videos I have posted are up. I really do wish I could bring a fix-all, but sadly with the way the game is, unlike what some people believe, there is no fix-all. If there was, the community would not be in the state that it is. And it is for that reason that I continue trying to make these videos to help you the best that I can. Now, how much help that really is, I cannot say, but that is why I always state at the beginning of these videos, so that you know right off the bat with the fixed videos that they are only possible fixes. I'm always honest with you guys on that. I do remember reading a comment from somebody that asked me to please remember that not everybody has time for all these, and I know that is true, but I am not making these for just one individual. I am making them for the community at large, because again, I do not know what will and won't help people. Honestly, the only fix-all there is ever really going to be is if Bethesda decides to get off their ass and actually patch and fix this game. Now, I give them complete credit that they did indeed patch the black screen issue, and that is good, but there was no reason why other similar, just as game-breaking issues like the 0KB issue on PlayStation 4 should still be in this game all this time later. People that buy the game, who have bought the game in the past, buy the game now, have a right to be able to relax and enjoy playing the game without having to worry about losing all their progress. Now friends, the next video that I'm trying to bring you may take a while to get up. I don't know. I'm going to be creating it after I finished uploading this one. Is a video for our friends in the Xbox community, because I know a lot of you found your way to me because a lot of people aren't really covering this. And it is geared specifically towards the Xbox Series X users, and it is all made possible by Donna Schneider, who was kind enough to provide me with the information on mods that she has that have now been broken because of the 1.21 patch that used to function in her loader. So if you are having issues on the Xbox Series X and you happen to have one of these mods installed, that might be a good place to start. And so friends, as much as I'd love to be able to take and relax like Lydia is doing right here, I'm off to make another video that hopefully will be able to help you. I am sorry for the length of this video. If you are somebody that has watched it all the way through, I really want to thank you for that. I hate bringing videos this long, but sometimes it really can't be helped, as again, I'm not a professional and I don't work off a script or anything. I just go with the flow. Thank you friends for watching, and see you soon. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.